Hello and welcome to this demonstration. In this demonstration, we are going to present how to configure Advanced NAT Gateway uh, on the cloud security connectors for Zscaler. Let's first review how are the use cases of the cloud security connector for Zscaler, because of course we connect to Zscaler, but we have more functionalities than that help you to create a complete solution for your company. The first thing in use cases is cloud migration, when you want to connect Azure, Google, or AWS to the internet via Zscaler. Also, we have a solution for branches. If you want to use the cloud connector for branches, we have the virtual machine that you can use for branches. The cloud connector simplifies the networking security. It is true a box with all the features, functionalities, and configurations ready for this environment. Then you don't need to explore how to configure, you don't need to do anything manual other than the basic things. The connector also provides private application access. With the use of the integrated PriCPA feature, you can connect securely your site to site, site to cloud, and cloud to cloud traffic. Then you can replace your SD-WAN, or if you have VPN gateways to the cloud, using the connector you can create a full mesh private traffic. We call it private access. But in this demonstration, we are going to go deep in the replacement of NAT gateways in the cloud, especially in AWS. And the connector provides the functionality to replace the NAT gateway. And it's more than that, because the AWS NAT gateway is just a simple NAT, but we can enforce Outbound Firewall policies. And this is a big benefit, especially if you are in multi-cloud environment. But it's a big benefit because with this functionality, you can bypass Zscaler very simple. When you need to reach a site from your trusted public IPs, not via Zscaler, you can use the Advanced NAT Gateway functionality to achieve it. And you don't need to use Zscaler PriCPA. And the advantage of this is very simple to configure, and you will go to full speed to your destination, because it's just this line, this red line. We're talking about this line. And when you are routing everything from inside via the connector, by default the traffic goes via the GRE tunnels. But when you create the rules for Advanced NAT Gateway, you can bypass traffic direct to the internet from the public IP of the connector. Conditional access for Office 365, going to Okta, or these type of things. You want not to ask multi-factor authentication for devices inside. You can create a rule and say destinations Office 365 don't ask for multi-factor authentication to a conditional rule, and this is my public IP. Also, you can bypass anything you want, because maybe you want to bypass Ubuntu repositories going direct, you have a partner or a destination that you don't want to use via Zscaler because it's a trusted destination, it's for your business purposes, and you want to go direct to from the connector to the place. Then it's very useful functionality and extremely simple to configure. But let's explore a little bit NAT gateways when you have multiple cloud environments and when you want to do outbound firewall rules. Then if you have an AWS region and you want to use a NAT gateway, if you want to control the outbound destinations that this instance can go, you will need to create security groups here. Same here. And same here, but here is a different way to configure security groups than here. Then if you want to have a policy, say, to this destination internet, I want my entire company to go directly, you need to create security groups here. That is one way, security groups here another way, and firewall rules here. That is another way to configure. And finally, in your firewall, you need to do another rule. Then it's different rules everywhere. It's very difficult to maintain, and it's very difficult to have a clean policy for all sites at the same time. And also, you need to pay for it. Then it's an extra money that costs for you. When using the connector for this purpose, for the NAT gateway going direct to the internet, and you have connectors all connectors in your sites, the big benefit is you have, well, first thing first, it's free because you're using the connector for Zscaler. Then you don't need to pay anything else for the NAT gateway. Then it's a big savings on cost because there is no another license or anything else you need to pay for the using of NAT gateway. And the big advantage is it's a single JSON file for the entire organization. Then on a single JSON file that you distribute to all connectors, you can create a plain policy in your entire company, and you will have the control of each site as you wish, and it's uniform policy and easy to configure. How easy to configure is? Well, it's a single JSON file, it's DevOps oriented. Anyone with the basic networking knowledge can do this. The only knowledge you need to have is source IP, destination IP, protocol, and port. 4 values. And the file is extremely easy to configure. You can create groups, rule groups, and firewall rules inside the group. In this case, I'm showing the Office 365 endpoint. And on each firewall rule, you need to define what you want to do. In this case, I want to, for TCP, for all my network, all devices in my company, go to these places, these destinations network of Office 365 and port 8443. And you can put single port, or you can put range of port. And that's much it. This is the only thing you need to do. And let's do now the demonstration. The steps are, first, you need to create the Outbound Firewall JSON file and put your firewall rules. The next step is place the updated file on an S3 bucket. This is the way we will use the bucket as repository. Then on the connector, we will configure the object URL of this object, and finally we will send a command to all connectors in my cloud saying refresh Outbound Firewall URL. And finally we are going to test the bypasses of each site. Okay, let's go back a little bit with the network diagram we have here. Then we are going to apply policies on my entire network, and the first thing I need to do is I will reach this instance, and I will test right now before to apply policies what happens. Then I come here, this is my Bastion host, let me clear. I have a couple of testing sites. One is ipinfo.io and the other one is baytheheadbridge.com. As you can see at the moment, because I'm routing everything via Zscaler, when I do a call to this destination, I'm getting a Zscaler IP, and baytheheadbridge.com IP is also showing the baytheheadbridge IP range. Okay. And on my firewall JSON file, what I have here is, as I mentioned, I'm bypassing Office 365 for the entire organization and all places. Office 365 now is a small set of groups with this kind of configuration. It's very simple to configure. As you can see, it's a very short list, and done. You have an entire Office 365 bypassed with 4 rules. I don't know how many. this logic of configuration makes things simple and condensed. And also I have the test sites that I'm going to use, testing sites. On the firewall urban test site, I'm bypassing ipinfo.io and also medihebridge.com destination from anywhere. Okay. Then what the result expected is, after applying this file on my CSC here, is that I will get the IP, my local IP, and not the Zscaler IPs. If I check on my connector here, it's a show configuration status. This is my local IP, and I expect, after applying the rules, to get this local IP, and currently I'm getting the Zscaler ones. How to configure this? Well, I mentioned to you that the best thing is to place this on an S3 bucket. I have an S3 bucket with the security in place. I will do this with a Terraform, but you can do manually if you want. Remember, if you want the Terraform template I'm going to use, go to documentation and support, click on Zscaler, go select the product, in this case is AWS, and you have here the S3 bucket example that I'm going to use and the explanation how to use. This is an S3 bucket that has is per IP restriction. Then next step, I'm going to go to my S3 bucket here, and on my JSON file I'm not going to replace anything at the moment because I'm going to use these two rules for testing purposes. But the configuration is to understand this template. The connector has 4 JSON and 1 pack file to configure. In this case, we are going to use this Advanced Firewall rules, the JSON file, and what this template is doing is, if you change this file, automatically will upload the file in the bucket. And also, the configuration is always in Terraform autobars in our case. I have my bucket name. You need to put your bucket name. You need to put the region where the bucket is located. And the big advantage of this, I have all the source IP, all my sites here, and also this, that there is the Ohio where I'm doing right now the presentation. Remember, we get the services, public IP services, like the bucket is from the same IP than the tunnel. Okay, good. Now, Terraform plan. So usually check if everything is good. Okay, I deleted an IP recently, and I will apply. Just Terraform automatically uploads the file if you change them, or if you change IPs, like in this case, they will do. And finally, they will give you the URL of the object. Then this is the URL I need to configure on the connector. Then I will come to my connector here, and I will configure the URL on Outbound Firewall. Currently is nothing configured. Then I will go to Outbound Firewall rules. I will do via URL, paste the URL. Do you want to refresh and take a look? All good. Apply. Okay, and that's it. Now, if everything is working, if I do, let's put a space, crawl IP info, the IP should be my local IP, and it is the 350, and for maybe this also 350. And this is the end of the presentation. But before to leave you, as you can see, it's very easy to do. But before to leave you, I want to tell you that the way to refresh the URL is not manually, because when you have multiple connectors, it will be difficult to do one by one the refresh. Then the refresh is using AWS System Manager. The connector has the AWS System Manager. Inside, you need to register the AWS System Manager. If you are not familiar with from the manager, I have all my connectors here on the AWS System Manager, also called Fleet Manager. And when you want to refresh the entire organization, that I will do right now, the thing you need to do is to run a command. We provide the commands, the documents for the commands, owned by me, refresh Outbound Firewall URL, and I will all my instance has this tag. Then I will apply for these tags. On rate control, we need to put this low because this is the free, and run. Okay. What will happen now? It will do the configuration on all my connectors. Not all connectors are with Outbound Firewall functionality. Some of them are different. There's a reason or are offload, that the reason will fail. But all the new ones will create the configuration easily. Let me check the one we are using here. Well, all are complete. What is the name? It's one of these. The name, this one. Open a new tab. As an output, this is the instance. As an output, it shows that there is no change. Then nothing was done on the connector, and there was the connect instance ID easy. Well, that's it for the moment. As you can see, extremely simple to bypasses using the Advanced NAT Gateway functionality. And I hope you like this video, because this functionality is extremely helpful for everything you want to bypass from the GRE tunnels outside Zscaler. Full speed, easy to configure, port, protocol, source IP, destination IP, and you can apply a policy to all connectors in your environment. Thank you very much for your time, and have a good day.